What up? Yeah. Real quick. Before we get, this is the UFC 131 video, but before we get to UFC 131, we got to talk about the Tough 13 competition. So push your subscribe button if you guys don't know, because me and George can be some funny motherfuckers. Sometimes we can be some funny motherfuckers. Now, on to the shit.
Anyway, we have a new UFC. I don't know where Kevin's going, but I know where I want to go and get this shit over with. Not that I'm not pleasantly doing this. I have to go to bed and go to work. Ramsey fought Tony Ferguson last night to figure out who would be the all new Ultimate Fighter or the winner of the thing, and Ramsey got clipped on the chin and went 90-90.
Right. I think everybody thought it was going to be a much more exciting fight, but just Ramsey got caught.
It was pretty exciting. They pushed the pace. They obviously watched the Klay G fight and were like, let's get it done.
Yeah, let's get it done. It was done in the first round.
Now, Tony Ferguson, after winning the fight, has said, I'll fight Amir Sadala. That's who I'd like to fight. He's good. Let's see how good I am. But he also hasn't ruled out cutting down to 155, which would be...
interesting.
Which would be dumb.
Because the class is
so
stacked.
That class is stacked. That's Kevin and I have come up to the agreement right now that the 155 class at the UFC is by far the best class.
It's got the most depth, but then you look at the 170 class and you really can't do anything because you got GSP. It's just like being a middleweight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ivana Humper.
No. Right. Anyway.
Klay G also fought.
Yes.
And beat a fighter that I didn't have him beating.
No. I don't think anybody had Klay Gita beating Pettis. And I'm like, and people, there's a lot of trolls out there. There's a lot of people say, oh, you know, we talked about it last week about Big Country being out of shape. We talk about sometimes...
He had walking pneumonia.
I don't give a fuck.
Neither do
we talk about sometimes when we say GSP doesn't press the action. But you look at someone like Klay Gita, okay? And if I'm not saying his name right, correct me, I'm sorry.
Guido, whatever, pick one.
This guy has a record of, what, 29-11?
Yeah.
He's had 11 fucking losses. But you know what? He always gets the good fights because he's entertaining.
3 fights of the night and 1 fight of the year. I mean, he goes out and presses the action. After the first 2 rounds, it was in no doubt that Klay had the fight.
Right.
Even if he lost this, I mean, the only way he would have lost, or he would have had a draw if the third one would have gone 10-8.
Right.
But he put himself in a situation where he could have lost, but obviously he's confident in his own skill to get out, and he got out of multiple submission attempts and constantly put himself in a position to try to beat him.
He goes 100% all the time. And if you look at any other fighter that has a 29-11 record, they don't get the shots that Klay gets. I mean, and the thing is that he fucking entertains. You want to see him fight? Would you?
Yeah. Yes, but now here's the argument that everyone else is out there going to make. Klay Gita doesn't fight 5 rounds. If you go back and watch the way Klay has fought for 5 rounds, because he does this shit he'll do it for half an hour.
Right.
He can fight at this pace forever. So if you're going to make that argument, it's not valid, dude, because Clay's got a motor, and he wants to win. He wants to finish the fight. He doesn't want to leave it up to the judges.
And what has he rattled off? Like this is his 5th straight win?
It's something like that.
Yeah, I mean, as of late, he's fought, and he has had his losses, but he's had his losses against some of the best people in the lightweight division.
Now, Klay, after the fight, said, put me in for the title shot. I should deserve it. And I'm thinking, yeah, but I overlooked somebody. Dana White says the next person who's going to have a shot at the 155 belt is Jim Miller. But Jim Miller's got his hands full because on August 5th, not August 5th, but in August he's got to fight Ben Henderson. So...
who fought a nasty fight back in the WEC against Pettis before he got hit with that Matrix kick. But anyway, enough of Tough 13. We know now that Tony Ferguson is the new Tough 13 Ultimate Fighter. And we wish him luck. But we got to move on to UFC 131.
My boy Ed Herman won 47 seconds.
That was surprising to me.
Gingers are angry.
Yes. He put the business on Shorty. Yeah. Now, UFC 131.
This was supposed to be where Brock Lesnar was going to be in, but we have him slated in later in the show. You'll see.
But we got, actually, it's, obviously, Carwin stepped in for, is the replacement for Lesnar, which still makes a very interesting fight. We'll get to that late, but in the earlier matchups, it's going to be Donald Cerrone's going to go up against this guy, Roca. Now, Cerrone's rattled off 3 straight victories. He's the favorite. He's the odds-on favorite in Vegas right now. This guy Roca's a little bit, he doesn't have as much of a resume as he does. I mean, he's 6-1. But who are you going to go with this fight?
I'll go with the Cowboy.
I got to go with the Cowboy, too, because that motherfucker comes to fight.
Yeah.
He really does. I mean, and just to be somebody that doesn't have that much experience in going up against such a savvy veteran, I think that's going to present problems. That's just Kevin's personal opinion. You guys can go out and tell me different, and you can suck the gee. But anyway.
Wow, that's a hell of a long...
Now, this is surprising.
Why?
The next bout, okay? This is surprising. I'm going to tell you why it's surprising. Mark Munoz, okay? not to be mixed up with the NFL player.
Ex-NFL.
Ex-NFL.
That's a
player.
long time ago.
Yes.
For you Bengals fans, all you folks out in Cincinnati know who that is.
Right. Is going up against Damian Maia.
This cat hadn't fought in a while.
Now, do you think, with you just saying that, since this cat hasn't fought in a while, do you think that's why he is the underdog in this fight?
I would have to say. I mean,
now that's real quick. That's not me, Kevin White, saying that he's the underdog, or George Bedford. That's Vegas saying that he is the underdog.
Maybe not fought in a while is a little bit of an understatement, but here we are in June, and he's going to fight in June. His last fight was December of 2010. So I mean, that's 6-7 month layoff.
Yeah.
So I mean, and his last fight was against Kendall Grove, decision. Before that, he beat Mario Miranda, decision. It doesn't look like Damian Maia. Last time Damian Maia finished a fight, he got knocked out, and that was August 29th of 2009. So I'm not.
Who knocked him out?
Nate Marquardt.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm not sure how I see this fight going, but it looks like this might, I mean, unless Munoz comes out and knocks him out, I mean, you might end up on your back with the Brazilian humping you to death.
Right.
I'm just saying.
Right.
I mean,
right, that's true.
Going by the track record, and
Yeah.
again, this is just George
Right.
interpreting what he's reading.
Right. Munoz is sitting at 10-2, Maia at 14-2. Who are you going to go with?
I'm going with Munoz. If not, it's going to be Maia Humpfest.
I'm going to side with Vegas, and I'm going to go with Munoz too.
Okay.
You know, because I'm thinking they're seeing something. You know, because obviously we're just not.
Now, Dave Herman is fighting Olivia Newton-John's child because this man has 3 names and I can't pronounce one of them.
Yeah, George and I sat here for a while, and I sat there like a 3-year-old kid trying to fucking read the name, going.
I can say John. Jon.
Yeah.
Olav. Olavov.
Guy, if we're trying
Norwegian.
to pronounce your name and you just for some reason happen to stumble upon this video, this is just how we do shit.
Yeah.
Very uneducated and fucked up and unorthodox.
It's not about being uneducated. I didn't take classes to learn how to say people's names. I don't give a shit. I mean, dude, don't be so sensitive. It's just your name.
Now, Dave Herman is nasty.
Yeah.
He really is. 20-2. He's fighting this other guy, 6-1. I'm going to go right off the bat with Dave Herman. I'm not even going to think about this other guy having a chance of beating him. That's just me.
Well, I mean, this other guy's beat some decent people. John.
Yep.
He's had 7 fights.
Mm-hmm.
Only one's gone to a decision, and that was Fabricio Verdun.
Right.
So I mean, he's fought some pretty big. I mean, not pretty big name people, but it seems like everyone he's fought ends in the first.
The guys he beat, though, who's he beat? This big name.
James Thompson. I mean, yeah. No. Okay.
Next fight. Anyway. Now,
Dave Herman should be the favorite. He is the favorite. More than likely, he's going to win. But I don't think that fight's going to get out of the first round.
Right. Now, the next fight, which is interesting because it's going to be Kenny Florian versus Diego Nunes. Ken Flo has decided.
Weight.
Yes.
Dropping 10 pounds.
Yes. And he's going down to featherweight,
which is 145.
Now, right off the bat, a lot of people are going to be. This to me is a smart move for Kenny Florian.
Yeah, because let me tell you what, if you lose this fight, you will be an announcer permanently.
Yeah. George is right. He will be an announcer permanently. But it's not that Kenny Florian's, because Kenny Florian's a nasty lightweight. But every time Kenny Florian has gone up, his losses are to Maynard, Penn, Shirk, and Sanchez. Sanchez during the tough, when they were both actually as middleweights. But it seems like when Florian, as a lightweight, has gone up against the top guys, he struggled. I think this puts him in a good situation going down to 145.
I think this puts you in a situation where if you don't win, you might want to reconsider fighting as a career, open a couple gyms. I understand your daddy's loaded from what I understand. Your gym's in the bottom of a building that your dad owns.
Right.
Nice. I mean, great. I'm glad you're a fighter and you really haven't taken the easy way out. But if you can't make a name for yourself at feather, I'm not saying you don't have a name in MMA, but you're trying to resurrect your career, in my opinion, at featherweight, because I don't think you're going to beat Henderson. You're not going to beat. I mean, you're not going to beat the top 5 or 6 guys at 155.
So forget about 155. Let's talk about his career at 145.
He's got a shot to hold a belt. The belt might weigh more than him, though.
Do you think he could beat a healthy Jose Aldo?
Yeah.
That's the thing.
Yeah, but you stand a puncher's chance.
Yeah.
I mean, we can sit here and say that no one's got a shot.
So does Jose Aldo, and he throws like 500 of those in a second.
Well, here's the thing: if Kenny Florian steps in and he throws a punch, sidesteps and hits him on the butt and knocks him out. Did I think
Jose Aldo and Kenny Florian in final? Who wins?
The guy who lands the most. I'm not saying one or the other because, I
Right.
mean, every fighter who steps in the ring with another fighter has a shot at winning a fight. That's the bottom line.
You're right. Absolutely right.
And most of the favorites and things you're going to pick on is what they've done in their past. I think Kenny Florian's going to get a shot with Aldo. If he steps in and dominates this fight.
Who else is good at 140? Who else is a strong?
Don't do that.
Because we don't.
That's just dumb. How about you tell us who else is strong?
Everybody out there in the comment board, tell us who the front runners are in the 145 class right now. Because there's somebody else. You know, there's somebody else that's pretty nasty in the 145.
Jose Aldo's cousin.
Yeah.
Jose.
Right. Now, the main event.
Junior Dos Santos is going to whip Shane Carwin's ass. That's all I have to say.
Right. Now, this is the thing. And I'm going to agree with George on this. Carwin, though, is a new man. He has been training at, you know, he's been training, dropped all this weight. He's going to be much quicker. Is this going to take...
You've been training with him?
No. I mean, he has dropped a lot of weight. I believe Carwin's dropped like 20 or 25 pounds for this fight. Now, that's going to make him a more conditioned athlete. Obviously, that's what killed him when he fought Lesnar. He had the fight wrapped up and he ran out of steam. But the problem is, Dos Santos
is a monster. I've personally overlooked Dos Santos, and now looking at his record and seeing his past, that dude is I want to see him and Velasquez fight.
Yeah, that will be a good fight because Dos Santos has one. I mean, they both have records. Him and Carwin are both 12-1. Carwin obviously lost to Lesnar, but you got to really look at who Carwin beat before that. It wasn't as impressive as
He beat Mir. He beat Mir. After getting pounded and getting beat on, he came out and put Mir to sleep.
Did you see the Mir and Big Country fight last week? I'm just asking.
Don't get me started on that.
Okay, so that's what.
But at that time, Mir had only lost to Lesnar, or his losses were Lesnar. He beat Lesnar, lost to Lesnar. So Carwin's like, look, the winner of that fight was going to face Lesnar again.
That's a good point.
So I mean, Mir was right there at the time. Mir was considered top 3. So at that time is what I'm talking about, not last week.
Right.
When he barely beat Bob's Big Boy.
Right. Okay. So Dos Santos is who the fuck is Dos? Let's see.
Everyone. He beat my mom twice, which was shocking.
The big thing he's beat Fabricio Verdum.
Yes.
Who's one of the front runners over in Strikeforce
and again,
now.
We'll explain.
But he's beat Roy Nelson. He's beat Gonzaga. He's beat Gilbert Idol. He's beat fucking Crow Cop. He's beat Stefan Struve.
Do you have to say he beat? Can't you just list the names?
Verdum. Geronimo Dos Santos, who could possibly be his cousin, or you know.
I wonder if Dos Santos is like Smith.
I don't know. No, that would be Smith. Would be more like Gonzalez. A surname like the most popular Latin surname is Gonzalez, just like our most popular surname is Smith. So y'all didn't know I know all this shit. You know,
you're raising
I'm
expectation
pretty smart for a dumb
levels.
nigger. Wow. Anyway, getting on.
Dos Santos wins this fight.
Dos Santos wins the fight, and that's who we have.
Right. Carwin's only shot is to be falling down or coming up and catching Dos Santos. And like I said, everyone's got a chance, but I don't think Carwin has a chance.
Well, now Carwin does have a lot of power. If he can catch Dos Santos,
I think Carwin can knock out any heavyweight at any organization right now.
And I think he can probably knock you out with one shot if it's a clean shot. And
if not, he's going to hit you hard enough to make you stumble.
Now we'll say this. When Dos Santos fought Big Country, everybody seemed to think that Dos Santos just walked through Big Country. He did not walk through Big Country. Big Country connected with him a couple times. He got some openings. Now,
who won the fight?
Dos Santos won the fight. But I think that if he fights, if he leaves those type of openings for Carwin, and Carwin connects,
99.
Yeah, it could be 99. It could be over quick. So, like you said, in all these fights, there's a puncher's chance.
Winner of this faces Velasquez at the end of the year. Yeah, the winner of this has to face Velasquez. Out of this, on paper, who would you rather see face Cain Velasquez at the end of the year between Carwin and Dos Santos? That's for you and for you.
Oh man, I would probably want to see Dos Santos.
I think I would do too because he's a more rounded fighter.
Yeah, they're both very similar.
Yeah, if Velasquez takes it to the ground, it's going to be a match. If they keep it standing, it's going to be a match. I think that'd be a better fight.
I mean, after seeing Velasquez the way Brock Lesnar is an incredible wrestler, I thought I could see he manhandled Brock Lesnar. He stuffed him.
Moved him around the ring.
His wrestling looked better than Lesnar, and you saw Lesnar out wrestle Carwin. So I'm thinking if you're looking at a smaller Carwin fighting a Velasquez, I mean, yeah, I can't see him beating him. Anyway,
that's our coverage of UFC 131. UFC 132 soon to come.
Yes.
And by the way, real quick to throw this in there, we understand that the Nate Diaz, is it Nate or Nick?
Huh?
Which Diaz is fighting GSP?
Nick.
We understand Nick Diaz and GSP got signed, and that shit's in October. Can we wait a little bit? just wait a little bit.
Yeah.
Let us get 1 or 2 more fights to get on there. Now, if some shit's talking and popping off, more than likely we'll throw a video together just to that.
Please let it do it.
Because it's not a dream fight anymore. It's a real fight. It's going to happen.
Yeah.
And for all you GSP fans, this is his biggest challenge, hands down, bar none.
Yeah.
And after this, if he wins this in decisive GSP hump you to death fashion, it's time to vacate the belt and move up and weight. And then you can take all the time you want.
Yeah.
And I'll never talk about you or anyone else or any of your... That's a fucking lie.
I know.